welcome back to Fluttering Butterflies. My name is Michelle and this is going to be my May wrap up for the British Books Challenge. Every month I do a video in which I talk about the books by British authors that I've read in any particular month. And this is my wrap up of May, in which I read 6 books by British authors. The first book that I read in May by a British author is Liberty's Fire by Lydia Syson. I will leave a link down below to my review and also an interview that I had on my blog with Lydia Syson. This is her latest, in which there are 4 characters' point of view in Paris in 1871 during a revolution. It is so very good, and I'm not a big reader of historical fiction, but Lydia Syson really brings this history in this time period, these characters and their relationships to life for me. I was really wrapped up in this story, and because I didn't know anything about the time period previous to this, I had no idea what to expect. It was very good. After Liberty's Fire, I decided to pick up Split Second by Sophie McKenzie. This is a thriller for young adults, and I believe Jim from YA gave this to me at an event a while back. And I felt like this was a very topical read, especially as it dealt a lot with government, austerity cuts, terrorism, and that sort of thing. It was really good. I was on the edge of my seat throughout, and I'm really interested to pick up the sequel to see where things will be going with for these characters. The third book by a British author that I read in May is Finding Jennifer Jones by Cassidy. This is the follow-up to Looking for JJ, which I read and enjoyed earlier this year, about a girl who is convicted of being a child murderer, and her experiences after she's released, both in terms of the media and also just herself and how she is going to get by. And in this book, the main character, who was previously known as Jennifer Jones, really struggles with her own identity and moving on. It was a really interesting story. I'm so glad to have returned to Jennifer's story and to find out more about what happens next. Now, I won't be talking too much about this next book because it is one of the 2 Bookish Brits book club choices in May, and there'll be an entire video about it, but that is When Mr. Dog Bites by Conaghan. This is about a teenage boy who has Tourette's, and he finds out that he will soon be dying, and he makes a list of things that he wants to accomplish before he dies, and it was really eye-opening and sad and sweet all at the same time. I really enjoyed it, but I will be talking more about this book very soon. Look out for that on the Bookish Brits channel. I did read one book by a British author as an ebook this month, and that was Moonlight on Nightingale Way by Samantha Young. This is the final book in the On Dublin Street series, and it sort of focuses on 2 characters, Grace and Logan, I believe his name is, and Logan is the older brother of another character from one of the other books, and I found it really interesting. I really love Samantha Young's On Dublin Street series anyway. And this one was the same combination of sort of family drama and friendship, and I love the way that all of these characters in these books kind of band together and form their own family. I do really love that, especially when a lot of the characters' biological families aren't the greatest, so they've created their own, and it was really sweet. It was kind of a sad ending to the series, but also a satisfactory one, as all of the characters and stories are wrapped up very nicely. Now, the 6th and final book that I read in May by a British author is this one, The Lost and the Found by Clarke. This one is about a girl who is abducted, and she is returned to her family 13 years later. And this is told from the perspective of the abducted girl's younger sister, and how she experiences and views this new change to her family. She kind of feels like she's always lived in the shadow of her older sister, and now the sister is back, and And I found it really interesting. It was very emotional and it went to sort of dark places, but I really enjoyed this book, and it kind of dragged me out of a reading slump that I was in. That's it. These are the 6 books that I read in May by British authors. Do let me know how you're getting on with this challenge. If you have any recommendations for me, have you read any of these books? What did you think? Do let me know how things are going. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again next time.